Welcome back to part 4 of this Automation Centre of Excellence kit implementation video series. So here we're just going to do a potentially short and sweet one, depending on what curveballs are thrown our way, video of how to make use of the Power BI template for the automation kit. So to get the Power BI template file, you're going to want to go to the PowerCat-automation-kit GitHub repository, click on releases. I was going to put a link, but every month, in theory, a new version will become available. So you want to get into the habit of going to the repository, clicking on releases. You'll then have the list of files. So like the CSV file we've used in previous videos, the main and the satellite managed solution zip files, but we're going to make use of the .pbit file, basically translate that as a Power BI template file. And then ultimately what you get off the back of a template is a PBIX like you're used to dealing with, and you can publish to the Power BI service. So as we can see here, we've launched that file that we've downloaded, and it's now asking us for the main environment. If we hover over the icon, it is going to tell us the format. Now, a handy way, traditionally, we have been going to the Power Platform Admin Center to obtain the org URL. But what I found is that if you go to, say, make.powerapps.com, ensure that you've selected the right environment. So for us, the main environment is the Center of Excellence. And then if you click on the gear icon in the top right-hand corner, then Developer Resources, if you take a look at the Web API endpoint, and if you basically copy that, so for us, that would look like this. And then all you need to do is strip out the API bit there, and then just remove after the .com. Now, looking at the format, it didn't want us to specify HTTPS. Now, that can be a gotcha sometimes, particularly with Dataverse for Teams environments, where I think it wants it definitely without the HTTPS. But we'll give it a try, and if it doesn't work, we can always just do it again with HTTPS. No big issue there. So once we've got that specified, we're then going to select load. And this will be the test, because we'll want to see this bring in some data. But it could be dependent on flows having run. Okay, so it's going to want us to sign in. Now that we're signed in, we'll click connect. May take a few moments. And then hopefully these will switch from evaluating to the actual getting data. You'll notice some of them are dependent on other queries as well that need to run before it can run. So just while we're waiting for this to have a think, I'll pause up the video. Okay, so this is looking more hopeful, and you can see there, for example, not expecting you to remember the exact number, but if you followed a previous video where we imported the CSV into our desktop flow actions Dataverse table, there was 935 rows. Although there's not much activity in this environment, so potentially the flows that would collect the data have run, but there's just nothing there to be collected. We've also got a dates table. Just having a quick look at why we've got that warning there. As we can see, there's quite a lot going on here. So we've got multiple pages in here, and by the looks of all of those loaders, quite a few visuals. So there could be some quite impressive insights depending on the amount of data that's been collected. So we'll just give it a few more moments. Now that it's loaded, there's not really much in here, but that's not through fault of the Power BI dashboard provided as part of the kit, because you can see on the right, essentially these are going to map to Dataverse tables, and the data only going to be as good as what those Dataverse tables are populated with, and the population occurs through the multitude of cloud flows that are available in the Automation Center of Excellence kit solution file. So that would be your first troubleshooting point. So it's either going to be, like in our case, because there isn't any data for it to collect, but equally, if you knew there was, as in, I'm expecting to see 5 desktop flows, or I know there's at least 5, there's certainly not 0, you would be gunning for looking at the flow, ensuring that's run, and then ensuring that there's data within the corresponding table. But let's see if we can find something where we know we should at least have. So solutions, if we click on this page, although the fact that we've got solutions and all of that is showing us blank, I'm a bit suspect of the flows running now. I think the only thing that would have brought in data is actually the desktop flow actions. Another thing we could do as well, if we wanted to have a quick sneak peek, is we could click on the Home tab, then click on Transform Data. And in the Power Query Editor, this is a good way of sanity checking any issues. So we know the desktop flow actions table should certainly have some information in it, which it does because we populated it by way of the CSV. I'm just going to click through some of these that have got the exclamation mark because they seem to be coming good once I've actually selected them. Because environments, again, I would expect us to have some information because that is the starting block that contains everything, and we certainly have got environments, which we can see here, although it didn't seem to actually be an element of the Power BI dashboards that would reports that showed the environment. So let's just, now that's looking a bit healthier, let's just close and apply. I'm just going to click on solutions again. Let's just scroll across. Is there anything for environments, control charts, home? Okay, to spare you watching me randomly click about, we're going to leave it there. But it essentially, you get the Power BI template file, you launch it, it's going to prompt you for the main, where you've installed the automation main solution file environment org URL. Enter that, click load, ensure that the data pulls through. If it doesn't, which I'm going to do now, is I'm going to go and double check that the flows are on and running as expected. Thank you for watching.